Okay, let's move ahead. So in last two lectures, we had started with the dividend decision making. We know the meaning of dividend. We know which are the various factors individually and collectively affects the dividend decision making. We know different forms of dividend as well. Dividend may be paid in the form of bonus shares. It may be paid in the form of share buyback too. It may be paid as a liquidating dividend too. We had seen some examples of various forms of dividend. Well, that was the conceptual framework of the dividend decision making. Now the question arises that, sir, do we have any mathematical models which gives us the exact idea whether we should pay the dividend or not, which should tell us that you should pay the dividend in this much of quantum? Those models should say us what is the impact of dividend on the market price of the shares. So these are the various questions which were pertaining related to dividend decision making. And various financial experts came up with their own advice, came up with their own mathematical models. After studying the corporate dividend behavior, their theories and theses were based on tremendous amount of research they had done. My friends, we are going to see the first model today is Walter's model. Such a beautifully built model, maybe of primitive in nature right now, but we have few models which are quite advanced as well, taking into account the data of thousands of companies. Those experts have built the various models like Linter's model. So the first one we are going to see today is Walter's model. Now let me take you to the Walters model over here, and before that I'll first take you to present value of annuity formula. Yes, my friends, you have heard it right. I was repetitively saying this to everyone that time value of money is the base. That's where everything is started. Time value of money at that is that kind of attention seeking guy who is always in the middle of every photograph. मेरा एक फ्रेंड था, हर जगह पे जहीं भी जाते हैं वो बीच में ही होता है. मैं बोला तू हर बार बीच में कैसे आ जाता है? How your senses are always attracted to go in the middle of every photograph. I don't know why, but this is how the time value of money is. Okay, let me take you to that formula, and from there we will derive this formula of Walter's model. My friends, if you can recall the manual formula that we had discussed about present value of annuity, it was looking like I in bracket 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n divided by r. So if you keep on receiving some amount of installment for some specified number of periods at a specified rate of return, then this is going to be the present value of all the emoluments. My friends, from this formula only, this dividend model is developed. I'll tell you how. Now, what is the lifetime of a company? Can anyone tell me? Can someone say that company will survive only for 10 years? Can anyone say that company will cease to exist after 20 years? Company always has unforeseeable future which cannot be predicted right now. That is what the fundamental assumption we have, until and unless we know the exact liquidation date of the company, or we know the purpose of the company after which it is going to be dissolved. But if nothing is given to you, we assume that company is going to survive perpetually. Try to understand. If there would be infinite number of periods, perpetual number of periods, then what can be the limit of it? It may be 100,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs. How much? Let me take some really high number of periods. So I in bracket 1 minus 1 divided by, say the rate of return requirement is 10%. I am taking n as 1000 divided by 0.10, which is nothing but the r in this case. Let me get this denominator of 1.10 raised to 1000 by using the formula in the Excel. Raised to 1000, it gives me some error here. The answer would be very small. Let me convert that into number, and if I increase the decimals, I can come to know that it is quite near to 0. After a decimal, there would be somewhere around 7 to 8 zeros, and then there may be some digit. So one thing you can establish, that if you increase the number of periods in the discounting to the infinite level, my friends, the discounting factor will approach to 0. From 1000, if you take 10,000, it will further be near to 0. So my friends, I can modify the formula of the perpetuity a bit. Installment amount is going to remain the same. The emolument amount is going to remain the same. Only the infinite number of periods are taken. 1 divided by this discounting factor will become 0 eventually, and 0.10 will be there in denominator. So I in bracket 1 divided by r, that can be a modified formula. I can also write it like I divided by r if I multiply I with this 1. So that becomes the formula of perpetuity, present value of all the installments or emoluments expected in the future. You divide that installment amount just with rate of return. Let's understand that from the equity perspective. Instead of installment, what do you get as a return from any share? It's your dividend amount, right? Now the Walters model as well as the Gordon's model, both of these models are based on a fundamental argument that the value of the share is nothing but the discounted value of all the benefits you are going to receive in the future from this particular share. Instead of I will put dividend over there, and instead of R, I will put KE over there. KE stands for the expectations of the shareholders. D stands for the dividend per share. Mr. Walter doesn't stop over here. He also says that it's not just the dividend which should be deciding the value. It should also be the money which you are transferring to your reserves and surpluses, which is again a retained earnings. Retained earnings is basically belonging to the equity shareholders only. That's why while preparing the financial statements, we were putting the retained earnings, in other words, the reserves and surpluses, under the shareholders' funds. So he further extends the formula D plus E minus D. E minus D stands for the retained earning per share. E stands for EPS, earning per share. But he tells that it's not just the simple retained earning which should matter to a company. He multiplied that with one very good ratio. He said that it should be multiplied with R divided by K. What was the logic behind it? Mr. Walter believed that dividend should be paid only if company is unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders. Expectations of shareholders are represented by K. Rate of return which company gets on its investments is denoted by R, can also be called as the internal rate of return, can also be called as the return on investment, whatever the terminology used over there. We take it as the return which company gets from its own investments. Try to understand his logic very carefully. He said that the dividend should be paid to shareholders only if company is unable to satisfy their expectations. If company's return on its assets and its investments is more than the expectations of the equity shareholders, then company should keep the entire dividend money as retained earning. That sounds rational as well, right? As a shareholder, if my expectation is just an 11%, and if company earns somewhere around 15% on it, I would rather prefer to keep my money with the company, because I know if I don't get the dividend right now, then there will be increment in market price. The money which company is going to keep with themselves, they're going to earn at 15% on it. The book value of share will get increased further. Fundamentally, company will become stronger. Reserves and surpluses will get the boost. And my market value of share will also be increased. In denominator, the K will remain as it is. The K was there in a denominator that will remain as it is. This is how the Malthus model was built. The fundamental argument is that it is the share's value is basically the discounted value of all the dividends you receive from a share. Understood? It's not just the dividend, but the retained earnings also matters. And retained earnings will be multiplied by one ratio, and the reason behind that ratio was he believes that to maximize the value of share, you should follow some instructions. Instruction is, if company is unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders, company should pay the dividend. If company is earning more than the expectations of shareholders, company should keep the dividends with itself. This is how the formula of Walter's model was built. My friend, this will give you a value of shares. When I say value, it may be different from, it will obviously be different from the actual market price in the market. Actual market price is derived from the demand and supply forces. More and more buyers and sellers will be there. Accordingly, the price will be affected upward or downward. Now, value does not have any relationship with the denomination, or I may say the price, because everyone's value will be different. A 1 lakh rupee car will be a cheap car, undervalued car. But a 5,000 rupees watch might be overvalued watch. So the value is dependent upon the fundamental fact that how much utility it gives you. So every company will give you a different kind of utility and benefits. That's why value does not have any relationship with the affordability. Value is different from affordability. Yes, 1 lakh may not be affordable to you, but 5,000 may be affordable to you. But that does not mean that 1,000 is valuable and 5,000 is not valuable. No. You may like to purchase even a 1,000 rupee share that may be undervalued at 1,000 rupees because their valuation may be somewhere around 1,200. You will reject the share which may be traded at even 10 rupee penny share if their valuation is coming somewhere around 12 rupees because that is an overvalued stock. So valuation does not have any relationship with the affordability. Please put this in the back of your mind. So this is how the formula of Volter's model was built. Let's go to the interpretation we make after we get the results from Volter's model. My friends, this is how you take it. I have already clarified the arguments of Mr. Volter in simpler words. Let's try to understand the first argument over here in the below table. If R is more than KE, then dividend payout ratio should be 0. That certainly means that company is earning more than the expectations of shareholders. If company earns more, money should be with the company, dividend should not be distributed. Likewise, if R is lesser than K, that means company is unable to satisfy the expectations, make the dividend payout of 100% to maximize the value of your share. I'm using the words very carefully, to maximize the value of share. So basically, as per Professor Volter, two factors affects the value. One is the dividend per share. Another one is relationship between the internal rate of return and KE, which is the expectations of shareholders. I hope you have got this model fundamentally. May I have a confirmation through the chat box that everyone has got it? यहाँ तक हर कोई क्लियर है? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very nice. If you are stuck anywhere, couldn't understand anything, let me know immediately so I can rectify the approach. Thank you so much, Mr. Dipesh. Thank you, everyone. बहुत ही खूबसूरत. खूबसूरत से याद आया, there is one famous dialogue by late Shri दिलीप कुमार साहब. मैं किसी चीज़ों से नहीं डरता, जिंदगी से भी नहीं डरता, मौत से भी नहीं डरता, डरता हूं तो सिर्फ खूबसूरती से. Such a wonderful dialogue. Anyway, that's just a paying homage to late Dilip Kumar Sahib. Let's go to the questions of this so that we'll be able to understand in a better way. So the first question we have, in order to avoid any copyright violation, let me just disclaim it first that this is the question taken from CA module. I'm giving the due credit to CA. And you people can identify that this is not my question, otherwise how the names will be looking like pura Bollywood chalta hai hamare class mein to. Question number 1, please take a snap of this. The following information pertains to Messrs XY Limited. कैसे नाम रखे हैं XY, बहुत बोरिंग नाम है. Earnings of the company 5 lakhs. Dividend payout ratio 60%. Number of shares outstanding 1 lakh. Equity capitalization rate considered as a KE. KE is also calculated with some mathematical formulas. We have seen the various methods to calculate the KE right in the second module. Rate of return on investment 15%, which company earns on its investments. What should be the market value per share as per Walters model? Well, let's start the question by writing the formula as per Walters model. The value or market price as per Mr. Walter should be D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the K again. D stands for the dividend per share. Do we have any information about that? No, we'll prepare the working note for that. Earnings of the company is given to you. Let me just write that. Earnings. You will also write it along with me there. 5 lakhs rupees. Dividend payout ratio is 60%. Will not be required right now. Okay, now there is no preference dividend because there is no information related to preference capital is given. So entire earning is now available to equity shareholders. You may divide this earnings further by number of shares. So you get EPS, earning per share, which comes at 5 rupee per share. From that, the dividend payout ratio is 60%. Not entire EPS is distributed. Only 60% is distributed in terms of dividend, my friends, which stands out to be 3 rupees. Dividend per share. E, we have got EPS. D, we have got dividend per share. Rest everything is just required to put over there in a formula. 3 plus 5 minus 3 multiplied by R will be 0.15 and K will be 0.12. Writing that in decimals in order to avoid the confusion. Remember that in the back of your mind, the whole is divided by the K again. So equals to 3 plus 2 multiplied by 0.15 divided by 0.12. What do we get there? I guess somewhere near to 1.2 or 1.3. 1.25 if I'm not wrong. Please give me the answers. $1.25. Thank you so much, Miss Hemali. To be divided by 0.12. So plus 3. 3 plus 2.12 multiplied by 1.25. So basically it would be 2.5 divided by 0.12. So 5.5 divided by 0.12. What is 5.5 divided by 0.12? Can someone tell me, please? $45.83. That should be a value of shares as per Mr. Walter. Now, if I tell you that the actual market price of the share is 50 rupees, then should I invest in that share or not? I am expecting the active interaction from your side. If this share is available in market at 50 rupees, will you invest in this stock? Mr. Mitesh saying no. Ms. Titli saying no as well. What could be the reason behind it? Can someone tell me, please? Very true, Mr. Mitesh. It's an overvalued share because at 50 rupees, it is overvalued because it deserves the value just of 45.83, my friends. The question doesn't stop over here. We are supposed to go to part number 2. What is the optimum dividend payout ratio according to Walter's model and the market value of company's share at that payout ratio? Will someone say me that? What will be the optimum dividend payout ratio from the given information? Try to analyze it. Go to the analytical part of Walter's model. What you should do, whether you should pay the dividend or you shouldn't pay the dividend. Let's see who can answer me. Okay, Ms. Titli is saying 100% to be paid. Mr. Jaydev is also saying the dividend should be paid. Anyone having the alternative opinion? Oh, two of my brightest minds of the class are going for 100% dividend. How about others? Anyone? Well, let's understand it very basically. Whether the company is able to satisfy the expectations of the shareholders, yes or no? Whether it is earning more than the expectations of shareholders? Rate of return on investment is how much of company? 15%. If company invests the money, it gets 15% from its investments. Against which the expectations of shareholders is just 12%. So company is earning more than the expectations of the shareholders. That means money should remain with whom? Money should remain with company. And if money should remain with company, that means dividend shouldn't be paid. Now, if we don't pay any dividend as per Mr. Walter by applying the optimum dividend payout ratio, then what will be the market price? Valuation. Let's see that. So market price as per Mr. Walter, D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the KE again. So how much? Now when we don't pay any dividend, the amount will be taken as 0, but that won't change my earning per share amount, which will remain same as it is, 5 rupees minus 0, my friends. R will again remain as it is, 0.15 divided by 0.12 to be divided by 0.12. Again, some people would be like, धीरे धीरे, होले होले. चलो ठीक है, होले होले से हवा लगती है, होले होले से दुआ लगती है. So 5 multiplied by 1.25, 0 will be 0, You reduce 0 from 5 will be 5 multiplied by 1.25 divided by 0.12. So 5 multiplied by 0.25 मतलब 25 पंचा 125. So I guess 6.25 to be divided by 0.12. What do we get the answer there? Can someone tell me please? 52 rupees. So if we follow the instructions of Mr. Walter, our price is reaching from 45.83 to 52. So from 45, you are able to maximize the value of share to 52. Now you tell me, should I buy it at 50 rupees? If the market price is right now actually 50 rupees, should I buy it at 50 rupees or what? Yes, we should buy it at 50 rupees because now it is undervalued. Earlier it was overvalued. So the same share at the same rupee of market price is undervalued at one occasion and overvalued at another occasion. It is undervalued if you don't pay any dividend, and it is overvalued if you have the dividend payout ratio of 60%. I hope you are getting my point. Now you will be able to correlate with the commentaries made by some really famous finance experts. They say this stock is undervalued, this stock is overvalued. How do they come to know the valuation of the shares? This is one model to value the shares. There are many other models too. This is a very primitive kind of a model to be easy to be understood by just everyone without putting much efforts. Let's go to question number 2. Everyone please start reading a question. You should focus over here on this table, nowhere else. As simple as that. If company is earning more than the expectations of equity shareholders, don't make any dividend. If company is unable to satisfy the expectations of shareholders, then pay 100% dividend. This is what applicable in relationship too, right? If you are unable to satisfy the expectations of any person, let them go. Give your 100%. It's okay, bhaiya, tata, bye bye, see you. Ye lo aapka share. Thank you so much. Some people will be like, sir ne to philosophy shuru kar di. Anyway, let's move to question number 2. The following figures are collected from the annual reports of XYZ Limited. Net profits 30 lakhs, outstanding 12% preference shares 100 lakhs, number of equity shares 3 lakhs, return on investment 20%. What should be approximate dividend payout ratio so as to keep the market price at 42 by using Walter's model? One information is missing in a question. While taking a snap of this, I might have cropped it. So please put KE at 16%. Expectations of equity shareholder will be taken at 16%. Now what we are supposed to find? Try to see that. Sir, we are supposed to find the dividend payout ratio. How to find that? We are not aware about that. So let's start the answer with what we are aware about, right? We are aware about a formula. Let's write the formula. Market price equals to D plus E minus D into R divided by K. Remember that in the back of your mind. The whole is divided by the K again. Now D, you will come to know only if you have the dividend payout ratio. We don't have that. Let's assume D as X. नहीं है इसलिए X कहते हैं. ऑब्वियसली कोई नहीं रहता उसके बाद ही तो x होता है, तो x plus EPS can be found from the given information. Working note number 1. Let's go to net profit, which is 30 lakhs rupees. I'm writing net profit as it is. From that, you pay the dividend of preference shares first. In this case, preference shares are given to you. First dividend should be paid to preference shares, and then whatever the remaining shares are there will be distributed the dividend. Now 12% will be on 100 lakhs. 100 lakhs is the paid up capital of preference shares. So 12% of 100 lakhs will be 12 lakhs, right? So preference dividend will be 12 lakhs. So sir, now the earnings is available to equity. So earnings to equity is 18 lakhs, my friends. That may be divided further by number of equity shares, which are 6 lakhs if I am not wrong. Let's just check it out. Not 6 lakhs, how much? 3 lakhs, sorry. So 3 lakhs are the number of shares. You get EPS 18 divided by 3. तो 6 कहीं पे तो आ गया, देखो मैंने बुरा नहीं गलत नहीं बोला था. 6 rupees earning per share. Let's keep that over there in a formula. E will be 6 minus D will again be X multiplied by R is how much? 0.20 if I'm not wrong. Yes, return on investment is 20. To be divided by 0.16. That's gonna be my key. Again 0.16. Now if we follow this, and if we want to get the market price of 42, then on a left hand side I'll take market price as 42, my friends. So this equation will be equal to 42. Yes or no? So therefore, let's just simplify this further. X plus 6 minus X multiplied by 0.20 divided by 0.16. What do we get? 0.20 divided by 0.16. $1.25. Thank you so much, Mr. Mitesh. 1.25 to be divided by 0.16 equals to 42. So let's open this bracket now. So therefore x plus Bodmer's theorem, पहले bracket open करना है, फिर multiplication, फिर division and everything. So 1.25 multiplied by 6. So 25 150. What do we get? Can someone tell me please? मेरे को मालूम है, फिर भी आपसे बुलवाना है मेरे को. 7.5. Thank you so much. So 7.5 minus 1.25 x. 1.25 multiplied by x will be 1.25 x divided by 0.16 equals to 42. Now x and x both can be settled off. So x minus 1.25x will be minus 0.25x plus 7.5 to be divided by 0.16 equals to 42. Now let me take this 0.16 over there on right hand side. Now there is nothing like taking that on right hand side or left hand side or what, but my mathematics professor was awesome. He used to make us remember this in a very easiest way. It's basically multiplying both the sides by 0.16. So if you multiply both the sides by 0.16, then you will have 0.16 left only on right hand side. But our mathematics professor was Very smart. He used to tell कि भाई division है ना उसका multiplication हो जाएगा, and if it is subtraction तो उसका plus हो जाएगा. Now I can recall, you know, अभी तक मेरे को याद रहता है उनकी बातें. 0.25x plus 7.5 equals to 42 multiplied by 0.16. So what do we get 42 multiplied by 0.16? Can someone tell me please? 6.72. Thank you so much. Okay. So therefore minus 25x equals to 6.72. Let me take this on right hand side, minus 7.5. It is again not taking 7.5 over there on right hand side. It is subtracting both the sides by 7.5. Therefore minus 25x equals to, we'll also get something over here in minus. Can someone tell me what do we get there please? I guess minus 0.78 if I'm not wrong. Right. So minus minus on both the sides will be cancelled off. Again, it is not cancelling of the minus. It's like multiplying both the sides by minus 1. So therefore 0.25x equals to 0.78. So therefore x equals to 0.78 divided by 0.25. So what will be the x? Can someone tell me please? 3.12. Now 3.12 is basically the dividend per share. Now once you have the dividend per share amount from your EPS, you can definitely find the dividend payout ratio as well, right? So EPS is how much? 6 rupees. Dividend to be paid how much? 3.12 to maintain the market price of 42. Then what should be my dividend payout ratio? Now DP ratio stands for the dividend payout ratio, not the display picture in your WhatsApp. So 3.12 divided by 6. What do we get there? 3.12 divided by 6. 0.52. Today Mr. Mitesh is in full form. Nice to see that. He is giving the answer earlier than everyone. Nice, Mitesh. Keep up the speed. 0.52 can also be written like 52 percentage. So my dividend payout ratio will be 52 percentage. And if I follow that ratio, then my market price, as per Mr. Walter, should be 42 rupees. So accordingly, one missing factor may be given to you in a formula, and you will be supposed to find that missing factor. You know, say if I don't give you the expectations of equity shareholder, and I tell you the market price, dividend per share, and EPS, then KE can also be found by assuming that as X, yes or no. So if you have all the variables and one of the variables is missing, you may practice such kind of questions. Just now we have practiced about dividend. Well, so that's all about the Walters model. I hope everyone is crystal clear with this model. There are two more models which are to be discussed, and then we will go to some special occasions and we'll try to run some regressions and some correlation tests in Excel to see that what is the impact of various events on the market price. So if the dividend is distributed, then how the market price has reacted historically by taking some realistic data. So those sort of things will be discussed once these two models will be completed. Walter's model, everyone should be crystal clear. Two more are pending. We'll be taking the questions of that in the next session. May I have a confirmation from the chat box, in the chat box, that everyone is clear till now? Received it from Titli, Veronica, Mr. Mitesh, Jaidev, Shreya as well, Hemali too. Very nice. Very nice. Now see Hemali, what happens? Sorry, Shreya. Shreya, you'll see that, huh? Check it out. There is one problem with that macro, which I have played over there. Oh, I don't know what is that problem, but we'll try to resolve it as quickly as possible. So say this was your attendance of last day. Acha, second session we had taken, no? So we have the chat box. So how do I mark the attendance? So I have created one macro over there, and actually it's been circulated to various other faculty members too. Some bit of an learning for advanced Excel 2 will happen here. Right, so your enrollment number and name of students are mentioned. So what you are supposed to do over here is just copy the chat box here. No, it's Urja and everyone. So I guess that's MBA MU, sorry. It is again MBA MU. Mr. Deepesh and Jaidev and all good. So it is MBA BA. So I'm copying that chat, Control C, and pasting it over here. So automatically it marks all the attendance here, right? So it takes the enrollment number of everyone. Now the problem is that Shreya has put the enrollment number, still her attendance is not getting booked. I am literally, I am unable to identify that why her only enrollment number is not taken. That was happening with you, Shreya. Nothing to be worried about from your side. That's a confirmation that you will not be stuck because of this. So whatever the lectures you have attended, you will be given the relaxation for that. Nothing to be worried about. Is it clear, Shreya? You were asking me about that yesterday. Okay, thank you so much. Everyone, please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. That's it from my side for the day. See you all in the next session again. Take care.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Gaurav. How are you?
Sir, I'm fine. How are you?
अरे ऑल वेल ऑल वेल. किधर
सर
थे बेटे? एक दो सेशन से थे नहीं, किधर थे? कुछ काम में थे?
सर हाँ सर, मेरा इंटर्नशिप भी चल रही है ना सर.
अच्छा रुक रुक, मैं है ना ये रिकॉर्डिंग बंद कर
यस
देता हूँ, फिर
यस
अपन